Let's Talk About It podcast is sponsored by Goosehead Insurance, servicing clients all across New Jersey. What's going on, Emma? How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to Let's Talk About It.
Thank you so much. So happy to be here.
Of course, I'm Jimmy, your hopefully favorite lender when it comes to one buying a house now.
Favorite lender.
So, Emma, tell me, what's this Midtown Direct when it comes to you and the team, Sue Adler team? Let me get it right?
Sue Adler team.
Sue Adler team.
That is correct. Yes, we do specialize in the Midtown Direct train line towns.
Okay.
So we service a lot of commuters from the city, whether these are first-time buyers, young families who have a kid and a half on the way. A lot of people are making that move. We started seeing a lot more of that post-COVID, or really during the COVID era when people really started to make the move. And now it is one of our number one customers coming from the city. Okay. So really understanding the train lines, parking, commute, boxcar options, bus, everything insides and out to make sure that they're making the right decision. Because, you know, commuting is not nothing. If you have to, if you're buying a house, you don't want to be in the car for hours on the way there, or buy a house and then not be able to park your car at the train station. So there is a lot to know that we are able to then relay to our clients to make sure they're making the right decision and getting into the best neighborhood for them.
Okay. So with Sue Adler, they're a very popular team in the areas that northern, western New Jersey, right? Is that fair to say that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that's how we met. I went to one of your open houses on my block.
Yes.
And I talked about some of the things I got going on when it comes to lending products, and you were like, oh, that's cool. I got this house to show Jimmy. Wait till you see what's going on with this house. And when I finally saw it and you showed me around, and I kind of felt like, okay, this is an experience that I would want to be part of if I had you list my house. So shout out to the Sue Adler teams for what they do when it comes to specialties in providing value on real estate.
Yeah, we really pride ourselves in we're a team of specialists. Okay. So we have somebody different for every little step of the transaction, whether you're listing or you're buying. We have transaction managers. We have really people from pre-inspection to closing, everything in between. We have somebody specialized for every step of the journey so that you are getting the best experience.
Interesting. You mentioned different professionals carrying different tasks within the Sue Adler team. You are a specialty when it comes to a buyer's agent, right?
I am, correct.
Yeah. Can you walk me through that? What is that like for one looking for a home?
So everyone moves at their own pace, of course. Right. It's very important to start with, of course, understanding how much you can spend.
Right.
That is talking to a lender. It's also important for me when we first sit down to know exactly what you're looking for, especially with these people coming from the city who are not super familiar with northern New Jersey.
Right.
I'm able to tell them about different towns, tell them how their lifestyle priorities would, give them different options. If they're willing to commute over 60 minutes, I'm willing to say we can go further west and get you more square footage, more acreage, or if you really need that 30-minute commute, we can keep you closer. So it's really identifying exactly what they're looking for and then be able to give them options of different, places that may be of interest to them, and then kind of really go from there. But we say that nobody buys a home without first being in love with the neighborhood. So the neighborhood is first.
I love when you say that, because I brought my house off my neighbor. I never saw my house. As soon as I drove up, I saw the tree line. I was like, oh, buying.
Exactly.
The wife was like, yo, we didn't even see the house yet. I'm like, we'll make it work.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, you can fix a house. You can't always fix the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And that's a premium. So for that, we were like, we're going to make it work. We're going to be all right. Just give it a couple years.
Exactly.
Let me step up my currency a little bit.
And that's another thing that buyers have to realize when they're getting into it. What is it worth to you? Do you want to be in the town really bad and do the work, or is it not worth it to you to be in that town and go a little bit further? So really discovering with the buyer what it is that would be the right fit for them.
Speaking of buyer, now we're in this market where the homes have appreciated a lot more.
Right.
Are you seeing some resistance with some first-time home buyers?
It definitely takes a little bit for them to get there. So what we'll do when I first meet them is we are big on town tours. So we'll drive around the town, show them the downtown, the train station, the schools. I'll also take them around to properties that have recently sold to say this was listed at blank, it went for blank. Could you see yourself spending this money on this house? And some of them will, a little bit of shock in the beginning and be like, no. Then we have to kind of change our criteria a little bit to make sure that they are aware of the market conditions. And then we take a look back, we'll look at the data with the list price versus sale price and really look at the big picture before diving in.
Okay. So it's a little psychology going into it, right?
Definitely.
Making sure that they understand what does that look like to them. Because in most things, especially when you're buying something at that price point, you have to understand, is it really worth it? Sometimes you have to lose a couple of deals to wrap your mind around it and be like, okay, you know what? On this house right here, I love this neighborhood. Emma showed me more than enough. I've been, I haven't been top 3 on my when my bids were submitted. I feel like this is what it is. I'm going to do whatever I can.
Exactly.
And for that, because they went through losing so many homes, now they see that what they see. You just provide them with that house.
And value is what it's worth to the buyer. So some are willing to go to a higher number. We tell our buyers that you win in this market as long as you walk away without regret. So as long as you weren't willing to pay the number that the offer was accepted at, you get to walk away, take your money somewhere else, go find another property that you feel comfortable paying that number for.
Right. So what is one common mistake that you see buyers make?
Spinning right off that, saying that they don't think it's worth that. I think it's very important to take a look at the market, the data, because it may not be worth it to you, and that is totally fine, but we need to be realistic and what's going on in the town, how many homes there. We've been in a very low inventory market for a while now. That creates high demand. We've had high interest rates. So all of these things come into play, your monthly payment, just really getting clear on the data, which is my part where I come into play, just to make sure that they're not super unrealistic and coming in and making offers that they have no shot of getting.
Right. Going through that process, have you dealt with the fact that if they can't find a house, now you're finding them rental?
Yes. So that has happened before. A lot of the times it comes in as they're teetering. If it's a tight timeline, if they want to stay in a certain school district but can't find a home, want to wait for inventory to come up a little bit more. So there are certain scenarios where, and even I'll say maybe renting is the best in this scenario. Moving, nobody likes moving. Moving's not fun. I think we all know that. So if you're going to be in a place for a year and you don't know if you're going to like it yet, I would recommend you start by renting. Get to know the neighborhood, get to know the area, go to open houses, see the inventory that comes out, and see if it's a good fit for you. And then make that move, because again, you don't want to do it more than you have to.
Right. And with anything else in life, sometimes you have to step back before you move forward, right?
Exactly.
And so sometimes paying rent, understanding that part of the responsibility,
Exactly.
and then jumping into a mortgage does make sense. And then, as always, you get confidence when you start seeing, okay, I can do this, I can do that. I didn't know about this hidden expenses.
Exactly.
Now I can, okay, when I see this home that I want, I know what's in my mind, what I'm going to be paying for to live there, right?
Exactly.
So it's good that you help out. You provide that type of value. Some realtors, in some cases, if they can't find a house, they don't work with the rental part, right? And that's not a bad thing. It's just they don't maybe they don't know what's going on in the rental market. They just focus strictly on finding you the house. So it's good that you can do both facets of the transaction when it comes to that.
We shift when it's needed.
Right. So what is rewarding when you find that buyer the home?
Oh, this is my favorite question. This has become more clear to me because my parents are getting ready to get rid of my childhood home, and that idea is devastating to me, not just because of the house itself. It's the memories that were made there. It's the holidays, the birthdays, first days of school, learning to ride your bike in the driveway. We're not just finding them a house. It's a place, it's a setting for their life and to make memories. And once all of because not every deal is super clean and simple, But when it comes down to it, I know that that is their place.
Right.
For them to make memories with their family, friends, and I'll always get to be a part of that because I help them find it. So that's what is most special to me.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
Let's Talk About It podcast is sponsored by Molson Law LLC, servicing clients all across New Jersey.
So what story you can share with me where during the house hunting process, we don't have to get specific, but you, to this day, it lives with you because you was able to provide shelter for that individual or family?
That's a great question. Recently worked with somebody actually going through a divorce. This was a rental. They planned on being in this house for a very long time, having their kids graduate from school there. Obviously, as we know, things don't always go to plan.
Right.
The marriage didn't end up working out. She was devastated about it. And we figured out what was most important to her, which is staying near her friends, her family, letting her kids finish out high school. We found
Right.
her a rental in the town that she lived in, and we made the best out of a bad situation. And she was so grateful that she wasn't alone through the whole process and didn't, it was much emotional support as it was actually finding her a place.
Right.
So that's one that will always stick with me because of how grateful she was and what could have been the outcome if we didn't meet each other.
Right. During a time of difficulty, one is just looking for solutions. That's all they care about. The fact that you were able to provide that, kudos to you. It's important. That this is what we do. This is the part we love about.
Exactly. Sometimes it's a therapist. Sometimes it's, it changes every day.
Right.
But just being able to provide that level of comfort and information and just being a resource means a lot to the people that I work with.
Let's Talk About It podcast is sponsored by Real Estate Title, servicing clients all across the state of New Jersey.
So how did you get to that level once you graduated high school? Did you know you wanted to do real estate?
No, I did not know I wanted to do real estate. I was a little bit lost, like a lot of other people probably are. I've always had a niche for it. My dad and I, we literally would drive around on weekends when I was younger looking at open houses. I've always loved homes. I've always
Right.
loved beautiful decor. It's the place where you spend most of your life. I've always had a fascination there. Parents were both salespeople. I've always been a people person. I love talking to people. I love helping people. Going into healthcare wasn't for me. I just got lucky that I found this and fell into it, and it's not easy every day. The difficult parts almost make it even better though, because you come out of it stronger and can look back and be like, wow, I helped someone. I'm so much stronger for that now.
Right.
But forever grateful that it kind of fell into my lap.
Okay, that's good. So when you're, when one's looking for home, right, they always look for, is this the right person giving me the right information?
Right.
How do you bring that the buyer to, yes, some of the things you're hearing on social media can be a problem. However, I'm here to calm some of your fears, right? Because the internet is always tapping into us as we speak, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so they get these clickbait ads and, you may have a conversation letting them know that, hey, this is the process. The team and I are going to make sure we get to this journey.
Right.
But then when they go home, they go online, they hear
Oh, yeah.
this, they see this, or that parent told them that.
Right.
How do you break how do you help them overcome those fears?
Right. So a lot of that is taking a look at the data to ease their fears. Really, we'll look at the unemployment rate. Unemployment is super low, where the economy is doing well. I'm talking about when they say a big one for a while there was that we're going to go into a recession or the market's going to crash. And just to provide them data to say, look, we're nowhere near when people started saying, is another 2008 coming? Provide them that data, say, look, that's where we were here. Look, this is where we are now. We're nowhere near that. Foreclosures, nothing, just providing them that data. So I'm not just telling them it. They get to see it for themselves.
Right.
And then we work out their fears. So, is your fear buying a home and then the market crashing? Because then I can come back to the data and say, look, you know what I mean? That's
Right.
not, this fear is not irrational, but we work through it with them and let them see really what is actually going on. And again, just taking a step back to look at the bigger picture.
Oh, so you're not just opening up the door and being like, hey, have at it?
I am not. Shockingly, I am not. There's a lot that goes on. Okay. And when the buyer can really open up and trust us, and this is, of course, on our end to gaining that trust and providing the resources and information to gain that trust.
Right.
But when there is that trust built there, it really is a magical experience.
Love it. So given the towns that you work and the towns that you love to work in, if you had to pick one town, which town would it be?
Oh, no. There are so many with what I call the trifecta, is with the downtown, the great schools, thinking of the future, and the train line. I would have to say that working here for a while now, I think I would have to say South Orange. I love the history. I love charm and character of the older homes. I love the storybook neighborhood feel. I love how you're a 30-minute train ride from the city. I absolutely just fell in love with South Orange.
There's a lot of restaurants in South Orange too.
A
right?
lot of restaurants in South Orange.
That Seton Hall over there too, right?
Exactly. So places to go. You know, when people think of moving from the city to the suburbs, they think of it being boring and slow. Right. That's not the case in South Orange. That, right? You have the downtown, restaurants, things to do, bars. It's a very fun, young scene. And you're not moving to the boonies.
So if you had to not if you had to, being in South Orange, do you have one or two of your favorite restaurants you like to go to? Excuse me.
So I am unique in that I love trying new places. So I try every time that I am there to go to a new place. Okay. Sometimes they are flops. I should start a series on that, flip or flop.
Right.
But I do love trying new places. That's a new thing that I forced myself into.
Right.
So to get to know the area better, I will walk down the street. Something looks cute from outside. I'm going it.
Okay. That's what's up.
And I'll do that anywhere, not just South Orange. I do that everywhere.
So when you're not doing real estate, the thing that you love, what outside activities you like to do?
It does lead back into homes. I love decor. I love home decor. Is
that a niche of yours?
I would love it to be one day. Okay. I actually met an agent through a deal not too long ago, and he lived my dream life because he got all of his real estate clients from doing, he's a big thrifter and owned a junk removal company. So through the years, he had collected these antiques and these incredible things. I love thrifting. That's another hobby of mine.
Okay.
He meets all of his clients through doing these garage sales. So he makes money off of the garage sale, and he said about $2,000, $2,500 a garage sale, and then meets all of his seller clients through that. So I was like, that plus a little bit of staging in there, I think that's my dream life right there.
Wow, talking about an add-on, right?
Right.
Wow. So it's just something that's part of you, right? Real estate. You live, you breathe it, whatever you got going on. It's happening real estate, right?
It's always on my mind.
Okay. So if one is looking for a second home, how do you go about that? Is there someone else on the team that handles that, or you do that as well? You mean it's a second vacation home, right?
A vacation home.
Yeah, because Sual is a big team, so sometimes they are looking south of Jersey.
Right. We do refer out.
Okay,
if it's further down by the shore, we have a very large referral network between Keller Williams, just the team knowing so many people. So we will refer out. We do not do a ton of second homes. It really is that primary residents commuting to the city, and then people will either, go one of two ways down to the shore so not a ton of
you refer it out.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And the reason I talked about the second home, right, because the areas you cover, it's a high-end area.
People have a lot of money.
Right. People have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so when they're buying their move-up house, in some cases they're thinking about, I want to go down the shore during the summer. I want to have another house. So that's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
How do you guys deal with one moving in and then 2-3 years later, hey, what's going on? I'm thinking about getting a second home. How do you guys deal with that? So I'm assuming, like you just, not assuming, but what you do is refer it out to.
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. So when it comes to lending right now, yes, rates are high, but that doesn't mean you can't afford the home. It just means there's a different strategy when it comes to purchasing a home.
Right.
Yes, there is a fear like recession can happen. A lot of things can happen. If you have it in front of you, that's all you can control. When you hear outside noise, it's what it is. If you believe it, that's on you. But like you said, when it comes to trusted professionals like ourselves, if we're giving you information to support what that journey looks like when it comes to your monthly payment, when it comes to that house, that shelter, we know that we want to provide you as much information at that point so you can make a solid decision when it comes to buying a house. And so that's why it's so important to what you were saying, like the memories. We want to be part of those memories, right?
Exactly.
We want you to let others know how we got you to these memories, right? So it's important for us to always make sure to support facts when purchasing your home.
Exactly.
I love it. So Emma, if one is looking for you, how can they find you and the Sue Adler team?
They can find the Sue Adler team. We do have the Sue Adler website. We have all of the train information. For commuters, we have different town tour videos, so you can find us online. We're on Instagram. We are everywhere. You can't miss us.
On Instagram, what's it called? Sue Adler?
We are the Sue Adler team on Instagram and Jersey Dream Homes. So we have a few there. We post all of our listings. We have a ton coming next week, so stay posted.
Ton coming next week. She said ton. See, this is how busy they are. I know another professional, Amy Deckler. So
yes.
I tried to reach her the other day. Apparently, she was busy. So another representative I work with, and she's always talking about what's going on with the market, and things are changing. We are seeing inventory, so don't be scared.
It's coming.
Don't be scared. Yeah, don't be scared.
So now we just have to keep an eye on the market, see if it continues like last year, where we're going to continue with, I don't want to say a good amount of inventory because it was low last summer, but sustain inventory throughout the summer and the fall. If that's the case, we're in good shape.
I love it. Well, again, Emma, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. Let's talk about it.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
Absolutely. So for those, if you're looking for Let's Talk About It, check your favorite streaming platform. I'm on Apple, Amazon, Spotify. Again, type in Let's Talk About It by Jimmy Mortgage, and I will appear. Thank you again, Emma.
Thank you.
Hey, listeners, are you looking to improve your home comfort and save on your energy bills? Let's talk about Seal Power. They've been awarded Energy Star Sustained Excellence Award, seen on Good Morning America, the New York Times, and World News. Seal Power is dedicated to keeping your home cozy while saving money. Check out their website for tips and incentives and more at CIELPOWER.com. Stay comfortable and save with Seal Power, where comfort meets efficiency. Follow them on Instagram for updates and more, and Let's Talk About It as well. Thank you.